why don't we just touch on bankruptcies as well, because there's been no major changes other than a change to the statutory minimum threshold for the issuance of a bankruptcy notice, which has now gone up to $10,000. But that's about it in this space. What can you tell us about your run-of-the-mill bankruptcy?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Look, it is for now, as we said before, we're watching the space in terms of 1 year bankruptcy, that we can do all the crystal gazing we want. It doesn't mean we're going to solve the problems of the world whilst we do it. Look, bankruptcy is all about the individual. It's all about the person, and it generally happens when a person can't pay their debt. So either something's happened, they've either incurred a lot of credit card debt. That's a very common reason. Or there might be a guarantee debt. So they might have been a director of a company. That company might have gone under, and the banks or another financial institution might pursue a guarantee debt. So it's against the person. And so I think that's a really important point to know. And when you look at bankruptcy from a trustee's perspective, it's actually a very personal appointment, because when you're a liquidator and you're dealing with the liquidation of a company, you're sort of dealing with something that's once or twice removed from someone's personal being. Whereas when you're a trustee in bankruptcy, you're dealing with the person, and it's all about what they owe and it's all about what they own. So bankruptcy is where a trustee is appointed to the estate of the individual. And it's interesting because when you are appointed as a liquidator, you basically work to the end and you deregister the company and the company is no longer. But when you're a trustee, you actually have the person still there doing their thing, and you're
not so fatal.
Not so fatal, and you're administering, their estate around that. But what basically it is when somebody can't pay their debts, either they can declare themselves to be bankrupt, or a creditor might bankrupt them, which is a very common thing that people hear about. And what happens at that point in time is a trustee is appointed, and that could be the government trustee or it could be a private trustee like myself, and there's a line drawn. So basically everything that that person owns, and there are exceptions, of course, but at that time falls into the pot of the bankruptcy, and everything that that person owes, again, with some exemptions, also falls into the pot. And it's up to the trustee in bankruptcy to basically unravel all of that and try and distribute what is owned by the individual out to the creditors who are owed the money by the individual. That also enables the trustee to recover certain other transactions that's happened, but in a very simplistic form, that's the role of the trustee in bankruptcy.
And there are a lot of things that can happen throughout the course of a bankruptcy, as you and I know, and we could probably delve into some detail about all those at a later time, but that's a great little intro into bankruptcy. So thanks for that.